from Unit Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time I'm doing a preview for the Arsenal versus Burnley game. And here is my brother from another mother joining me for the show. All I say hello to the people, brother.
What's happening, people? Thanks for bringing me back again. I
Of
mean,
course,
two in a row, two in a row.
two in
Like,
a row,
what's
bro.
what's happening? We're up and running. We're up and running for the season, then, isn't it? We're
Yeah.
up and running for the season, man. Thanks for bringing me back.
Well, everyone kept banging on about the fact that I should bring you back for the preview. Bring you back for the preview. I'm like, I can't ignore the people, so there you go. Plus,
Fam,
our show yesterday was for us. You know, MMA ain't necessarily for everyone. It was really well
yeah.
received yesterday. I've noticed.
Yesterday was banging. Yesterday
Yeah,
was
so
lit. I was loving. I watched it back. Actually, I don't. You know, I don't really watch back shows like that, but I watched back yesterday's. But yesterday was lit. Watch back. You know the comments that came on and all of that. Everybody was active.
yeah.
Everybody was engaging, and yeah, it was very very well received. And thank you to everybody that listened to the show yesterday. If you're watching tonight's show and you're into MMA combat sports, yesterday's show was a show that you should be getting into, and come and give us a watch.
And for those of you who think, oh gosh, I can't do boxing or MMA, this is going to be the show for you because we're going to be talking everything Arsenal and everything versus Burnley. Um, I've not really had the preseason chit chat with you, so
Yeah,
in fact, we've not really spoken about Arsenal even on WhatsApp. We don't really speak about Arsenal. Weirdly, I even
bro,
think
I
about
just been
Arsenal with
I've
me,
been I've
but
been I've
I
been I've
haven't
been
been that
quiet
with
the
you.
whole summer. The whole summer I needed a break away from Arsenal, and even when all the big signings were coming in, yeah, I made a little video, not even a video, it was a face app thing. Remember when Pepe was coming in and you did that thing for me and Ligona,
Mm,
like looking into the distance for me and Ligona, and I did one back to you, like that I don't want on the old face and all of that. Yeah, it was all good. Those times were good times, and we've been heartbroken so many times by the club that
yeah.
they link us up with these big players, and I just didn't want to get my hopes up. I get my hopes up, and then all of a sudden it gets dashed down again. And there's plenty of times I've always wanted to be on that pogo stick, that extra spring in my step,
Mm.
and I couldn't get it. You know what I mean? Because the club just wouldn't give us the signing that they promised. But this time they kind of delivered, and I'm so I'm I'm excited. That's been the biggest phrase, probably the biggest word used in the summer since we signed Pepe.
Mm.
Everybody is excited because Josh said be excited. So Josh, I'm excited, but still you got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of making up to do, but it's a good start.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, I suppose we've not really spoke about it, so let's get into it a little bit. My kind of
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
stance was, you've even been there when I've clearly been arguing with Lee. My issue
yeah.
with this owner is that he's never stepped forward,
I've seen Lee's argument for the Cron case and for the board,
and
and I've
against
also
him.
seen yours argument as well. And
Yeah,
I'm leaning more towards you than Lee.
yeah. But,
I
but
mean,
to
but
be honest, and this is just me being
mm,
honest, and this is where
yeah,
I'm pretty good at reflecting on myself. I don't just go flip flop for the sake of flip flopping like some other well known YouTubers who I won't mention, but I'm sure you'll know who I'm talking about. Um,
hmm
but I prefer analyzing and reflecting on myself and things that I've chosen before. And this don't get twisted. I'm not going to start kissing Stan Kroenke's ass now because he's spent money. But the way I now reflect is that when you put money into something and you're the main shareholder, that's one thing. But you're essentially just a shareholder, albeit you're the leading shareholder. Ultimately, if you want to do something, others will follow. But actually, now that he has that full control. This is the first summer that he's owned the whole club. It's the first summer he's had since he bought everything, and I mean everything. So he's had a full preseason, a full summer, and it just made me think to myself, you know what? Fair play. Because, you know, I did say at the time when Josh was interviewed, I watched that interview, and that looked like a guy like, really? People are moaning. If you see what we got planned, that was the reaction that he gave. The way like it was almost a shock of if you see what we're trying to do right now. And then obviously little did we know, 10 days later, rolled out Pepe. You know, and just started to roll out signings, finally agreed this Tierney deal, you know, started to make shit happen. And I give him a lot of credit. But like you say, he's still got more to come. I still want to see more.
Still a lot of work to do.
I personally will still want someone like Emery to be held accountable if the results aren't rolling right. If the results aren't rolling right, now that he's been backed, if you don't get top four with this team, there's a problem, bro. And it ain't the owner now. This is you now. So
this is the thing. This is my take on it.
Go on.
So basically, you look at renting a house, and then when you rent a gaff, you don't do it up like, you know, because it's not really yours.
It's not really yours.
All yours.
I'm saying,
you see, when you get your mortgage and you start, you know what I mean, you pay for the yard. You can do it all up. You can change up the curtains, knock down the walls, you know, do the ceiling, whatever's leaking in the, you know, everything can get refurbished, right? And that was the problem with Stan Kroenke that I saw, that he didn't really give the club the real detailed attention that he should have given. And like you said, maybe now that he's got 100% of the club, he feels more obliged to I'm not going to say show it full attention, because Josh even admitted we're not going to get that from Stan.
Yes.
Even Josh said that. We're not going to get that. We're not going to. So everything everything has to be directed to Josh now, which in a way I'm kind of happy with. I think he's more relatable. He's more younger. You know, the whole transparency thing with social media and all of the other stuff. He can get to terms with it, and in the world that they live in, some of the new teams the teams that they've got in America out there in Denver, it's had a lot to do with the changeover and the success that they've had as well. So he said his dad's main focus as far as sports is concerned is the early Rams, and that's fair enough. Yeah, do that. If you're going to put the youngin in charge, that's got more energy, that's got more drive, more passion for the club, then I'm willing to give it a chance. But at the same time, I mean, the club has been neglected for so long under his ownership, and even when it was a majority shareholder, it was still making big decisions. When the board did not want Wenger to get the extension in contract, Wenger went round the back and spoke to Stan. Stan authorized this shit. Stan gave him the pay rise. Yeah, so you can't just abdicate Stan from everything.
Exactly.
He was part of it as well.
Exactly.
You know, so people try to abdicate him and say no, but he was part of it.
He was part of it, 100%. He was the one that greenlit everything. I don't care what anyone says, and I know the argument is always, well, he's the CEO. If people in his company decide to do, and my argument is, with respect to people who are making that argument, obviously Lee being one of them, right?
Yeah.
BS. Don't get it twisted. The CEO may not be in the country, may not know about day-to-day things, but big things like offering an old man a new contract, trust me, he'll know about that.
Not shit. Just a new contract and pay rise
of that decision.
Well, and that was the time we came out of the top four as well, to give him a new contract and give him a pay rise. Like, hold the fuck on. What world are you living in? And the rest of the board didn't want Wenger to fucking get that contract. Exactly. They didn't. You know what I mean? So
exactly. You're right. You're absolutely right. Because I remember those were the only stories I was hearing around that time, was that the board were against it. In fact,
they were against it.
this is if you choose to believe it or not. Apparently, there were rumors that even Ivan wasn't overly enthusiastic about giving Wenger a new contract.
That was right. Yeah,
but that Kroenke was the one that pushed that agenda. I
that
remember
oversaw that.
hearing that.
He overrode everything. He overrode it. Oh, and that's how Wenger ended up spending another year, basically causing more of a demise. But that's by the by. That's gone now. Yeah, I don't want to live in the past.
Yeah,
we're saying.
Yeah,
but they're saying if Emery
quick big
doesn't make top four.
VP for the donation, by the way. Thank you, VP.
Shout out, my guy. Look, I've heard you just mentioned just now as well that look, if Emery don't make top four because he's been backed, people need to remember, just because he's been backed this season, don't mean every signing is gonna work. It's gonna take time for the signings to gel. We've just signed 6 players. One of them ain't even in the team yet. We in a very, very important part of the pitch, which is the defense. Saliba ain't even here yet. And when he joins, he's gonna need time to gel with the back four and understand how everybody plays, understand how the league works. All of this is gonna take time. I know we signed big players and everybody expected to just go bang. But football doesn't always work like that. Yes, sometimes players take like duck to water, you know. I'm expecting someone like Tierney to, because he's played in a weather like our weather. He's played in Scotland where things are quite brutal over there, but not just
it's physically demanding.
But still, it's still physically demanding.
There's not great quality up there, but it's physically demanding. Yeah,
exactly my point. So I'm expecting him to, hit the ground running once he's fit and ready to go. But there's these players that we got from Spain, from Lille. I still expect them to, contribute, but I'm not expecting a lot just yet. And that might reflect on some of Emery's results. And that's why I want people to be patient with him. I want people to be really, really patient with this amount of signings that we've made and not hang Emery when things doesn't really go our way, because these guys have still got to, still got to gel.
I partly agree with you. Partly. Yes, I agree with the fact that, we've brought in 6 signings. It's going to take a while before they gel. But
let me just drop something on you. Yeah, remember Coleman and Everton.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm also trying to say is, we finished a point out of top 4 last season.
Yeah,
points.
Oh yeah.
If you're telling me that Nicolas Pepe, Kieran Tierney, I'm not in love with him, but all right, David Luiz, right, and people it's not enough to generate what you need in order to finish 1 point into the top 4. Bear in mind,
that was last season. That was last season. These teams.
I know that was last season.
Hold
on, let me finish. Chelsea ain't straight. Chelsea have got weaker. United always start like a house on fire. Let's see where they get to in January, February. They always start quickly. So I wasn't overly impressed by what they did to Chelsea. So, all right, cool. And even arguably, you can say, bar their defense, which admittedly has gotten better, technically, they're weaker.
Just for the one game, yeah. I agree. And Pogba could still go. What his brother was saying today.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I'll give you this. Spurs got stronger. They got stronger.
I agree with that.
I like it.
100%.
I think their signings are, to be honest, I think they're... I know Ndombele didn't have...
I don't even like to praise it. I don't even like to praise it, but
I know it doesn't even feel... You can tell I'm stuttering. It doesn't even sit well in the mouth, right?
It hurts, man. It hurts.
But
it hurts.
Ndombele, I think, will settle down and be a good signing for them. I do like this El Celso. I think he's, from what I've seen, is a pretty good technical player that they have. Clearly a guy who's ready-made to replace Eriksen. But I will say, if they lose Eriksen, that's a big blow, bruv. I think Eriksen came tick. So if Eriksen goes, all of a sudden, top four is not that unrealistic. I'm not necessarily saying it will be easy. I'm not saying that, like you say, that something like you just said that we'll completely self-destruct is not possible. But in my view, I think, and I've given Emery a pass last season. I did.
Yeah. I'm not asking for a pass for him. I'm just
I
asking for
would.
patience.
I personally would be extremely disappointed if he didn't make top four with his team.
Bro,
I'm sorry. I have to be
bro,
real. I'm
you
sorry.
know one thing, yeah? You know one thing that this club has showed me this summer? Because we're talking about the signings. We're talking about the signings. But this club has showed me also this summer when they dashed Koscielny and said, listen, you got to pay to get out of the club, or another club is got to pay to get you. You know what they showed me? Ruthlessness. They showed me we're not playing around. And I feel players will be held accountable. I feel the coach will be held accountable. I think now Edu's there, people are going to have to stand up and be counted. And if they don't want to be counted, they will be moved on. And I think Emery already knows that and is reflecting that. He's not even including people like El Nene and Mustafi in his squad, because now it's all about results for him. Otherwise, his head is on your chopping block. It's on their chopping block. Yeah. So that's what and that's what, to me, that's probably the most impressive thing that I've seen this summer. The whole of this summer, for me, that's the most impressive thing, that the way our hierarchy are moving now. They're moving ruthless, and they're going to hold people accountable. And I can't wait to start seeing that in full effect. But we've seen doses of it, but we need more. And that's what I said earlier on, that all right, you've got the signings in, but you still got a lot more work to do. And that's clearing out deadwood, holding people accountable, holding the coach, the backroom staff accountable for maybe injuries or sending people on that's not fit to play games. And then, because otherwise, I think that's why we lost Ramsey last season. And that's why we didn't end up in the top four, because Ramsey had that hamstring business, but they sent him back too early. I think they sent him back too early.
Ramsey was a blow. I do think it was a blow. And I think we did have a couple of blows, to be fair.
Because they got rid of the doctor that we had, didn't it? That the guy from Australia. What's his name?
Yeah, but they only got rid of him after the final. They got rid of him after the final. But to me, I think, yes, I do think that that Ramsey was a blow, and that I think Hector Bellerin was a blow, and I think Holding was a blow. Listen, we're Arsenal. Yeah. At some point, we're going to get picked up.
This is going to happen again. Yeah,
this is
definitely going to happen again.
To us. And to be fair, and this is where Arsenal fans live in a bubble a little bit, it happens to other teams as well. What we've got to allow it.
Look at Sané.
What we must not allow it to do is destabilize us every time it does happen. You know, teams pick up long-term injuries, and that's why I quite like having a big squad. I know Emery's going to try and get rid of a couple. I'm hoping and praying it's Mustafi and Mkhitaryan at the very minimum. The Ozil one, I'm prepared to wait till January. If it's DC United, no problem. As long as he goes, no problem. I'll stick around.
I saw a tweet today. About Ozil opens talks with DC because of the knife crime, and somebody said in the reply, "Okay, open talk with DC to swap a knife crime for a gun crime." Yeah, go on to DC and swap yourself a knife crime to a gun crime, innit? You know.
Well, there's not a big Turkish community over there, so like if it is like certain Turkish gangs that are targeting them, then he probably feels like he's safer over there.
I mean, to me, if it's organized crime, if it's real organized crime, people, like I've heard that it is, these guys have got reach all over the world. They can reach, they can touch any man anyway.
Yeah,
it don't matter who you are or where you are.
I agree. I mean, without getting too deep down this road, I don't think wherever he moves, I think there is clearly a wider problem here that I don't know. He needs to find a different solution to, because like you say, if a gang really wants to get to you that badly, they'll get to you. It's as simple as that.
100%. As simple as that, for real.
But anyway, let's not digress into that. Let's focus a little bit more on the game because I've seen some discussion.
Okay.
Big up to everyone in the chat. Please do stick a like on this video. It just gets people's attention, gets people flooding to the chat as well. I know a lot of people tend to DM me or tweet at me and say they didn't receive the notification that I was live. I don't know what that's about. Something I've got to look into YouTube. But do at least stick a like on the video because then it helps people notice it and then people come in a little bit belatedly.
So this is what I heard about that notification thing, real quick.
Go
on. I think it was Lee that actually said it. He said if you stream twice or 3 times a day, once you stream on the 3rd time, they don't send out the notification. I think that's what he said.
Okay. Well, today's the first one.
From his investigation. So people should be getting the notification for this one. Because you lot been grafting.
He's that 3 times a day guy.
You man be grafting.
He's the 2 times a day guy. I'm not.
You man be putting in it.
I ain't got sexual stamina like that, you know. Not as young as I used to be still. So yeah.
No, man, it's good to see, man. It's good to see you, man, putting in the work, man. It's been lovely to see.
Yeah. Let's talk about the game itself. You know, obviously I've seen a few people discuss this in the chat room already, and they're talking about the shape. Now, what would you say, shape-wise, is the thing that you need to do? And Don Juan, you best believe I'm not putting your comment about the king is here. Since you were bitching about me putting out your comment yesterday, I damn sure that one.
So, I mean, in terms of the shape, it really does depend on what formation Emery wants to go with, and the type of defenders that we're accumulating now, and it looks like the club wants to bring in. It looks like it wants to go with a back 4, but a lot of these guys are capable of doing a back 3 with wing backs. So, I mean, it's still horses for courses in terms of the shape we want to keep and even the players that will get called on to play a certain type of game. But Emery's resume suggests that he will go 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. That's his resume. I mean, he's been going with the back 3 because of the injuries we had and covering for certain players' deficiencies in terms of recovery and getting back. And that's people like Monreal, even Koscielny when he first came. You had to give him that extra leg in the middle of defense, and that's why he went with the back 3 a lot. But you know, with someone like David Luiz, if you go look at his record, he was hardly injured. I've not really throughout his career really heard, unless he got dropped on poor form, I've not really heard him really been out injured. Touch wood, really been out injured for quite some time. So, and Socrates was fairly fit the whole of last season. So you know, we hopefully we're gonna have the same run with these 2 guys in defense this season. And you know, even with Monreal, I think Monreal, David Luiz, and Socrates can play that role with Tierney or Kolasinac, because if we still got Kolasinac, he can easily play that wing back role as well. So if he's not in the back 4, at least with those guys in, we could get that in. And look at Maitland-Niles. He's now becoming so versatile that he can play in the back 3 as a wing back, and he can play in the back 4. So I'm excited to see how we're gonna play this season. To me, we didn't, obviously, the first game of the season. It was good to get the 3 points. It wasn't a eye-catching game to watch, if you like. But I put that down to it being the first game of the season, and we were playing away. I think if playing at home, it's going to be a whole different ball game. Probably a lot more players will be available for selection, and they would have had a bit more time with it with each other as well to know how each other operates, the runs, and who's running behind, and who's dropping to pick up the ball. But on the whole, everything looks positive from the training clips that I've seen. Everything looks positive from what I'm hearing from the press conference. So, apart from Ozil, the main Ozil thing and Kolasinac thing, I think everybody's in good spirits. And they're back in training as well, ain't they? Those two guys, Ozil and
Back in training,
Kolasinac,
yeah.
they're back in training. Yeah, so everybody's in good spirits. So, we just need to put on the show when we play Burnley, which I'll be going to see tomorrow.
I'm not even sure you answered my question and all that. What was the
I did.
shape
You asked about shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you asked about, and I said about the formations with the wing back or the back four.
So it's a cop out, basically.
No, because for me, I think, like I said, I think he's leaning more towards a 4-3-2-1 or 4-3-3.
What would you
remember when
do?
I said that?
What would you do?
What would I do? Well, I'll go with the 4-3-3. I'll go with the 4-3-3. And that would then mean David Luiz with Socrates.
Okay.
Center of defense.
We'll do the 4-11 soon. I just wanted to know,
okay,
shape-wise, what would you do? For me, I think it's a no-brainer. We're at home against a team we're expected to beat. I say you go with 4 at the back. I know a lot of people, I had a couple of people tweet me and say, well, why would you change it to a 5 against Burnley? And I started laughing. I said, I wouldn't change it to a 5 against Burnley. Against Liverpool, though, yes, I would.
Against Liverpool, yeah, we're definitely going to need to do that.
And then he goes, well, why would you change it to a shape they've not played in a while? I said, the last time they played it was in the final. Relax. I'd play it all day long against Liverpool. Because let's be honest here. And I, to be honest, right, and I've watched, I love Troops, and Arsenal Fan TV, I respect it. I watched their player ratings. I thought some of the marks were ridiculous. Some of the marks were harsh. And I thought the one that was harsh was the Chambers one. The Chambers one, I thought Chambers was excellent on that day. He was excellent. I thought he was really, really good. And I'm not just saying it because everyone knows I've got a slight soft spot for him. I think he's a good footballer. I think he gets unfairly treated because he doesn't have an obvious strength. Like with Socrates, it's his fuckery that people like. It's true. Let's just be honest. With Holding, it's the fact that he's a ball-playing defender. With David Luiz, he's a big character, and people believe because of that he's a leader, and he will show that leadership on the pitch. With Chambers, there's not really an obvious trait other than what I picked out is composure. I think he has fantastic composure. And when people say, oh, is that a trait? I say, let me tell you something. In defense, that is a hell of a trait. Because if you compare composure, someone with composure to someone without composure, namely a Skodran Mustafi, where everything is a panic, everything is last minute, everything is a scramble, there's nothing that infects a defense more than panic. Nothing. And one good thing that Chambers has is that reassurance that you're all right, he's dealt with this, he's calm, he's ready, he's cool, he's got this. Do I think he's the best defender? No. Do I think he should be starting week in, week out? Not necessarily. But spoiler alert, because I'm about to start getting into our 1-11s. Do I believe that he should start this week? I actually do. So that in itself creates a problem because I also think while Chambers was good, I didn't think Socrates was all that. And I saw some people giving Socrates a 9. I mean, it was like a 9. I saw Socrates get skipped a couple of times over the weekend by that Jolinton guy. And I thought, no, not a 9, bro. Not a 9. I thought
Especially that shot he got away
huh?
to.
Go on.
Especially that shot he got away to Leno, and Leno he went directly to Leno. I thought
Yeah,
Socrates was at fault for that. You know,
yeah.
I didn't
And
I didn't
everything
understand
like
what
that.
Socrates was trying to do there.
And 9. I thought no chance. So for me, it really does bring up a debate. You know, who do you go with? There are 3 centre backs. By the way, this is a problem I love that we have. We've got 3 centre backs that can all make an argument that they should start. 2 places, really, unless you sacrifice the shape. Hence my question to you. So
Yeah.
I think if we're going for, and it sounds like we're both going for, let's go with our 1 to 11s and let me see what you do versus what I do. So
Okay.
my goalie, of course, is Bernd Leno. Any arguments there?
Yeah, I like Leno.
Yeah.
I think he's been fantastic since we had him commanding. So
Mm,
yeah, no arguments with that at all.
okay.
Leno.
So let's get into this. Back 4 real quick. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who kudos to
Yeah,
him.
no argument. We've got no
As
other
always,
option
excellent
anyways.
against Newcastle. A shaky 20 minutes, but then I thought
Yeah.
recovered really well and actually
Do you think he grows into games, or do you
100%.
think towards the end of
And
game
that might be a
he lacks
concentration
concentration?
thing. I find
Right.
people who when it comes to concentration, they just lapse it a little bit. Wojciech Szczesny was a stickler for it, where he would often grow into games, whereas he wouldn't necessarily start alert. I think Ainsley Maitland-Niles has that issue, and that's something that I expect him to improve. And to be perfectly honest, and this might sound ageist, I don't mean it to. I know I'm an old man, right? But I find that this tends to be a trait of younger players. With younger players, they tend to. It's like their concentration just goes, and this is the sort of habits that you see them pick up. But I hopefully the more he plays that position, the better he'll come in situations like that. So
I heard
go on.
I heard Emery had a personal conversation with him, and that he liked what he did at Newcastle, and all they expect from him this season is consistency. None of that lapse in concentration. When you start, I expect a consistent game from you throughout the 90 minutes, week in, week out. And the lad must, go back and work on the concentration issue, because it's a big issue, and it's something that could cost us 3 points in big games, especially when it's been so good throughout a game. So it's something we have to watch out for this season. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So the back 4 is for me will be Chambers, Socrates, yes, and Monreal, and it is the same back 4 as Newcastle. It was a back 4. Ironically, I picked in my preview. I knew it would do well, and it did do well. And the reason that I'm going with those 4 is I think if you're playing a back 4, we know David Luiz can't play well in a back 4. Why are you setting this man up to fail already? For me, I would save Luiz for the Liverpool game. You know you're going to play a back 5 in there. He plays best in a back 5 in there. I actually think will be excellent in that game. I'm predicting him to have a really good game in that game. And I say, start him in that game. Throw him into the fire. He's a big enough character to go into that game and make his debut in that game. So that's personally what I would do. So I would go, my back 4 once again would be Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Chambers, Socrates, and Monreal as my back 4. Who would you go with?
I think Lewis should start getting blooded in, but I can see your point. I see where you're coming from. Because Chambers didn't really put a foot wrong in that game against Newcastle, and I feel Burnley is going to pose more problems. And do I really have full confidence in that pairing? I don't, because I haven't seen enough of it yet. But Again, I haven't seen David Luiz in an Arsenal shirt yet,
Mm-hmm.
let alone him having a game. So I'd
Mm-hmm.
rather somebody that's had a full preseason with us know the shape that the manager wants to play. He played in big games as well in the preseason games against Leon and didn't he play against Barcelona? He played against Barcelona as well.
I believe
So
so.
I think all those are important building blocks for him going into the season. So yeah, Chambers definitely with Socrates and Monreal. I just wish Kolasinac
Was better.
I'd had more time with the team. Well, I'd had more time with the team and
Yeah.
probably replicate that aggression he showed in defending Ozil. There's a lot that I'm wishing for here, but it'll be Monreal as well. So I think that back four you chose will be the way forward for very very tough Burnley strike force. So yeah, I got along with that.
Okay. Now in the center, this will be key. I am going to make some changes. I would play Torreira, even though for some reason I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. I would play Torreira. I would play Ceballos, and crucially, I think I'd play Guendouzi. You know.
God damn.
I don't think we expect you to say Xhaka. No.
Yeah.
I'm still not convinced.
So this is who would pick,
This is
and
who
not who we think
we
the
pick.
manager would pick. Okay.
Yeah, this is what I said to everyone every week. This is a hopeful 11. This is who I would, not who I think. Because I always get these stupid comments. Oh, do you really think that Emery is going to pick X and X? I'm like, I don't give a damn. Because I clearly tell you every single week, this ain't about
this is who I pick.
Who I pick. So I don't know what you're talking about right now. Every week without fail, I get one of those comments. Every week. So at this point, I just ignore it now.
Yeah.
But this is obviously we know that
Shaka's gonna play.
We know he's a dead cert in his team. But
I don't know what he's got on this manager.
I clearly told you I don't think Torreira will even play tomorrow.
Yeah,
but this is who I would pick. And I picked Ceballos just in front of now the other casualty in what I've just said is Willock.
Mm-hmm.
I want to protect.
That's what I was gonna go for.
I just wanted to protect him a little bit.
It'll be my free. I don't think Willock needs protecting anymore, man.
No.
The way this guy is moving.
I wouldn't hate on you if you decided to pick Willock. People don't get it twisted.
He's definitely my free.
Again, this is just what I would do. I'm just thinking I would just protect him a little bit with the view of he probably played the last half an hour of this game. Just for his confidence, just to help, just to see how he reacts to being dropped. Is he still putting in that same energy? I'd want to test his character a little bit. And that's the thought process. In a game, I know I can afford to do it rather than next week against Liverpool when we have no chance of making any type of experiments or anything like that. So I'm just trying to test different aspects of his character, this being another one. Because I don't want him thinking he's a dead cert. Yes, he played well, but I want him to continue playing well just to stay in this team. So that's why I'd consider just reining back on him a little bit because I want to avoid an Alex Iwobi situation. I want to avoid even a Guendouzi situation where they're playing too much. And all right, people will say, what are you talking about, Chig? He's only started one game. I know. I'm just trying to curb this habit nice and early. I'm experimenting. I'm doing little. Listen, I test the psyche of motherfuckers when I'm manager. So this is what I'm trying to do. All right. So,
can I give my free?
I know people will be screaming. Like, what are you talking about? So you didn't shout Xhaka or Willock. Who is this guy, man? Get him off the TV. So yeah. Sorry.
Oh my god! You just murdered my free, man. I'm gonna pick Torreira, Xhaka, and Willock. You just shot all over me.
Will it start tomorrow?
No, because I still think it needs time. It needs time. I want to bring. You see, all our new signings. I kind of like what Emery is doing with them. Just bringing them,
Slowly
giving
but
them
surely.
tiny bit of minutes. 20 minutes there, 15 minutes there, and the guys that are there that wants to prove. Because look, there's plenty of games to go around. We know that there's going to be plenty of games, but these guys have been chomping at the bits to
Prove.
impress Emery,
Mm.
just to impress the manager. And now they're playing at home. They're going to be in front of the home crowd. I guarantee you, Willock and Reese will break a neck tomorrow to impress the home run in a Premier League game.
Mm.
And I know they're capable because these are very capable players. So by three, Willock, Shaka, and Torreira. And I tell you why.
Why Xhaka?
Shaka, there's there's this thing about finding players. Yeah, I know the easy passes. He loses them. I'm as mad with Shaka as, but there's this thing, especially in a game like this. You know why? Because Burnley is a team. They're going to come to our ground and they're going to sit back. We need people that can unlock the gates. And Shaka can do that. Shaka can do it. Ceballos,
Let me see how
maybe in the
people are
long run,
reacting
yeah.
to our shit, by the way. Go on.
Yeah.
Hello, internet's gone for you, bro. It's gone for you.
I think Shaka to me, Shaka to me, I think he can unlock some of the defense through the midfield, put the ball on sixpence. Yeah, the easier passes, 5-yard passes, he keep missing them. I don't know why, and he laps concentration as well. But if you look at all the games where we've unlocked Burnley, Shaka's been involved in those games, and we've given Burnley some really good hidings, especially at home. So I don't see the reason why Shaka can't play in this game. And I think they're going to need his experience as well. So to me, I think
for me,
I would pick him in this game.
For me, just to justify why I don't think Xhaka added that much last weekend. I do think he finished the second half better, but I just think Guendouzi actually looked good. He looked really good. I think underneath Willock's performance and Chambers' performance and Ainsley Maitland-Niles, the performance that kind of went under the radar for me was Guendouzi. I think he was quietly bossing it. I really do. I think he was quietly doing his thing, and I would like to just nurture that talent a little bit more, because to me, bear in mind it's my 11. I see more of a future in him than I do in Granit Xhaka. So I'd want to nurture that and squeeze that talent a little bit more and give him some.
So hold on, are we going 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3?
I'm going
4-3-3 or 4-2-3.
But
okay, all right. Yeah.
That being said, I'm having Ceballos playing almost a deep number 10 sort of role. So he kind of splits from that pack and starts to make things happen. Your internet, if you can hear me, is wild, bro.
Yeah, wild. I can hear you.
Yeah, you can hear it. The internet
I can hear you. Yeah.
Diving in and out. But so for me, I'd have Ceballos doing everything you just said about Granit Xhaka. I'd have him doing that. I'd have him finding those passes and making things happen. All right, let's moving on, because I know we're pushing to wrap this up. In terms of your top three, who would be your attacking three? And I said this might not be a foregone conclusion, people. So hold tight.
I'm going with Reece Nelson, Laka, and Aubameyang.
Why? Now the obvious question is, why Reece? Because I weren't that impressed with Reece.
Again,
I weren't that impressed on the left.
Yes, I understand. But again, another youth player. that wants to, that would want to impress in front of the home crowd. There's plenty of time. And I gave my reasoning earlier on for Ceballos, the same reason I'm going to give for Pepe. Last 15 minutes, last 20 minutes, come give your legs a run. Feel the physicality of what Burnley is going to come for. Burnley is the type of team, they will set out to enjoy your star players straight away. These guys don't give a damn. You bring on a £72 million player and they're going to break his leg, just like, you know what I mean? But bring him on last 20 when we've wore them, when they've all been worn out. Come run your leg, feel the power of Burnley, see how they move, feel their physicality, and then get used to your surroundings. And that's why, I'm gonna bring Pepe on a little bit later, because eventually, look, these two players that I've dropped in Ceballos and Pepe, they're gonna get starts. Probably 5 games into the Premier League. After, I think I'll put it down to after the international break, they're gonna start.
Okay. Do you want to hear my top 3?
I don't think they'll get starts.
Your internet is playing havoc, bro.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my top 3? And it might surprise you also.
Go on then, let's hear it.
My top 3 is Aubameyang, Lacazette, and just behind them, Mr. Joe Willock.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh, you went that way. That's yep. Well, you went around the corner to get mine. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
I would play. Obviously, I'm not dropping him after that performance, but I would actually push him a little further up, and I'd see what he can do. I think Willock is. I've seen him play on the right hand side before. He's very, very adept playing that side. I do think a lot of people have said that they see him as a number 8. I don't see Joe Willock as a number 8. I see him actually as a box-to-box sort of midfielder, actually. And I wouldn't mind seeing him, just with his energy, see what he can create on that kind of right-hand side, number 10 type of role. Because let's be honest, we know that Aubameyang will kind of drift off towards the left. And I think if you have Joe Willock drifting off towards the right, just causing... In a game like this, you can afford to experiment and tweak. Now, the reason I wouldn't start Pepe would be an obvious candidate to start this game. It's Burnley, it's at home, people will be excited to see him. I agree with you, though. I actually like the idea that Emery is trying to protect Pepe as much as possible. Because let's be honest, if he starts this game and doesn't score, what are people, especially in the Arsenal fan base, what bars are they going to start spitting? Oh, he's overrated, he's shit, he's this, he's that. Forgetting this motherfucker played a summer tournament where his team got to the semi-finals, right? They're going to forget all this shit and just have amnesia, right? Whereas I think if you just hold him back a little bit, almost the way he did with Torreira, hold him back a little bit.
Yeah,
hold him back.
Just like that.
Hold him back a little bit and just play him half an hour here, 20 minutes here. Let him get his fitness. And then as soon as he's raring to go, chomping at the bit, we know that Pepe will be our main guy. We know that's going to happen.
Exactly.
We know that will happen. But actually, and listen, by the way, people, I'm the guy that's been banging on about Pepe for the last 2 years. If there's anyone that is more excited than me to see Pepe in Arsenal colours, I'd love to meet him. I am the Pepe guy. Trust me. But I also understand I want to give him the best possible chance of succeeding. And actually, that's personally why I'd actually hold him back.
Exactly, those are my reasoning. That's my reasoning. You want to give him the best chance in the league. We know how physically demanding the league is, and I think he'll get targeted. They will target him, especially these lower teams. They will target him, and I'm not talking about like the forwards or the lower teams flair players. I'm talking about the rugby tacklers in the lower teams. they'll target they'll tackle a player. They'll target a player like that. And with our luck, you know what happens when things like that. When things like that. And touch wood, because there's the last thing I'm wishing on this player. It's a big money signing for us. It's someone that's been brought into the club to come and change our fortunes and push us forward and push us to where we need to get to. And I'm confident it's going to be a success. But
can I just
it needs to be run. It needs to be done the right way.
Can I point you to something, right? Check out Arsenio's 2 comments I'm about to put up and see the irony of them, right? So he's valiantly defending Xhaka here, right? Now, in 2 comments later, his 2 comments later, he goes from this to this, right? To then this. How you can go from this, a player who literally cost us games. I mean, this is not scapegoating here, as Don.
And I've not picked on Xhaka, by the way.
Scapegoating him, right? The man has statistically cost us games. To the guy who put up the best numbers in our midfield last season, but of course, this argument makes.
Yeah, it will be Kudus score in a brothel.
I love Arsenio, but this is the kind of arguments that I'm like, I can't even debate with people anymore.
I mean, you can't say Iwobi can't score. You can't say Iwobi can't score in a brothel, but he scored in Baku. Just think about what you just said.
Exactly. Where was your boy
just think about what you just said.
Oh, I know. Your boy was giving away the ball for one of them goals. That's where your boy was. Come on, Theo. Everyone has a right to their opinion, and we'll say that. Everyone has a right. I'm just saying. Come on. Can't. And I love Arsenio, but there's some arguments I'm like, bruh, come on.
Not today.
And Kevin, there you go. Consider it read. Chig ain't reading no comments of mine. I just read it, motherfucker. All right.
Shout out Kevin, man.
We both have our 11s, both controversial starting 11s. What would be your score prediction tomorrow?
Home game. (3-1) Arsenal.
By the way, Jimmy Mack, you are welcome to your opinion, bro. I'm just telling you the reason why I would do something. It doesn't mean it should affect your world, bro. This is why
we just explain the whole. This is what we would pick, not what Emery would pick.
The thing is, I know. This is the thing. Jimmy Mack will say this. I know. He'll probably start tomorrow, you know. And you watch how quickly I'm going to come and say, I done told you, motherfuckers. What did I say? Look at all these idiots saying Pepe shit, Pepe shit, Pepe shit. And you got people like Jimmy Mack saying, oh, we'll start him. Don't hold him back. All right, then cool. This is what happens when you don't hold him back. This is what happens. To me, I think I'm going to go with 3-1 as well. Did you say 3-1?
And I include Pepe on that score sheet.
And I include Pepe on the score sheet as well.
I think he'll come off the bench.
He scores his first goal too. I do. I think he scores his first goal. Me personally.
There you go, Jimmy Mack. That's one for you. Yeah.
There you go, Jimmy Mack. There you go. Arsenio has been here 3 years. Bruh, Chelsea, I like Arsenio. Don't get twisted. Just because I like you and you're a long-term subscriber, don't mean you don't come out some wild shit where I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just saying. All right, man. Quickly, before you get going, how do you feel about the Anfield game? Because without looking too far ahead, we as fans are allowed to. The players aren't. So we as fans can look at this game and think, right, what are we going to do for this game? What is your feeling about this Anfield game?
It's a game I'm worried about. I have to be honest, but I got quite optimism because they're conceding goals. You know, they're conceding goals. Liverpool have. It's been a while since I see Liverpool be conceding goals like they've done over the last couple of games, 3 games that they've played, and I think we're gonna, if we can defend, we're gonna have to defend with our lives, but we definitely have a chance to nick a goal or two, and if we can do that and defend, we might be able to get out of Anfield with something. You know, I'll take a draw now at
Okay.
Anfield. Now today, I'll take a draw today now at Anfield because we haven't got fuck all from that ground in a long fucking time, and that's how peak has been for us. And every time we go over there, they always seem to find a way. We always seem to gift. It's not even the goals they score as well. Like, it's a gift. Every goal they fucking score is a gift. They don't even have to work. But hopefully, we can turn it around this season. We can turn it around when we go there and make them at least graft for their goals. And I know they probably be worried about what we're bringing. Yeah, they've got Van Dijk, but they haven't. Adrian is injured. Some fan injured him, so
No.
now
Was it Adrian or Allison that's injured?
No, Adrian. Both of them are injured.
Damn, both of them are injured.
Both of them are injured.
I'd never like to wish injury on people, but fuck, I'll take anything.
But both keepers are injured, so they're gonna have to go down and dig down and bring in their third goalkeeper.
Okay.
You know, so I'm praying it doesn't come.
What the hell did the fan do?
Yeah, did some celebration at the Super Cup.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, I see Klopp was seething about it earlier on, but he went happy. He was seething, mate.
For what is essentially a friendly. Let's be honest, it's a glorified friendly.
You know.
Ooh.
So they've got both keepers injured. So, you know, let's hope we can nick something out of that, out of there, because if the goalkeeper is not assured, you said it earlier on, one thing that can cause mayhem in the back four is panic. And if the goalkeeper is not assured, the defense is gonna catch the defense is gonna catch some of that panic, and we might be able to get it that
I think
way.
we're gonna need a lot more help than just the goalkeeper. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's already a chink. That's what I'm saying. Even knowing that Adrian is injured and Allison is injured, I'm still saying I'll take a draw today.
Yeah.
And you know,
for me, I just want us to fight. That's all I want is for us to put up some type of battle. And even if we lose, just lose knowing that we've been in a fight and ultimately they just proved that they were just about a better team. I could take.
I don't know if Arsenal know how to lose honorably.
That's the thing. Usually, when they lose, they bend over, and that's where it pisses me off. That's when I get angry. But if they can just honestly, and someone hold me to this, if we lose to Liverpool, who, let's be real, most of us would accept that they are a much better team. And so if we lose, we're talking about the European champions here, right? So if we lose, European champions, Champions League winners here. So if we lose and it's 2-1 and we put up some sort of fight, see if I moan. See if I bitch. It ain't gonna happen. Straight up. It's not gonna happen. Big shout out to Prince Rupert. Just showing you that all different types of fans watch the show. And he's an Everton fan and he's looking forward to Iwobi. Prince Rupert, I'm gonna say to you now.
Hopefully it has a good season with you guys, man.
We're two big fans of Iwobi. He's obviously our countryman. I will say this. He'll frustrate you at times. He will. He'll very much frustrate you at times. Sometimes he'll run and you'll be like, why are you running properly? Right? Sometimes he'll shoot and you think, can't you shoot at anything but your side foot? I'm very aware of Iwobi's flaws, but he's also capable of brilliance. And I personally, as an Arsenal fan, will miss it when he nutmegs someone and you just think, oh, shit.
He does it for a joke.
I will personally miss that. So enjoy. Honestly,
you've got a talented player on your hands. Definitely got a talented player on your 100%. Hands. You've got a player that will work hard, right? It might not always come off, but it will work hard for your team.
100%.
And, you know, you can't ask for more than that sometimes from a player.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I think that pretty much is that. Am I missing anything? I don't think so.
No, we've done the scoreline, so yeah.
Cool. All right then, brother. We're out of here. Lee's gonna be live very shortly. I know he's doing his preview, so go check him out at 9 o'clock and just let him know that I sent you. I'm sure he'll appreciate it and send me love off the back of it. Thank you. I'll be back
Shout out to
later.
Lee, man.
I'll be back
Congrats to Lee
later
again.
tonight, actually. So I'll be back
Just
just after Lee finish. Yeah, man. I'll be back just after Lee's finished today. I'll be doing a stream myself as well. It'll be a very kind of quickish one, 20 minutes or so. Just giving my 2 cents on Mohamed El Nene, the Özil Kolasinac thing, because I know people have been wondering what I think of that, and a couple other little tidbits around the Arsenal at the moment. So I'll be back literally straight after Lee's finished. I'll be primed and ready to go live as soon as he's done. So do stay tuned with that. So that gives you even more reason to go check out Lee, so you know when I'm about. So go make sure you do go check it out. Before you bounce, do quickly stick a like on this video. Ola, let the people know where they can find you, bro.
It's right there on the screen. It's not even in the description below no more. At Black Scorpion Free on Twitter and Instagram. Go add, man. If you want to talk football, combat sports, I'm there.
Little does Ola know, it's in the description as well. So go check that out.
See there.
Yeah, go check that out. But yes, that's a lot of the reason why we put it. Hold on, let me remove it so you guys can see. Yeah, so you can see our names at Black Scorpion 3 on Twitter and Insta. You can find him. As for Muggins, myself, you can follow me on Twitter at Colossal Chig. Weirdly, I discovered the other day I had crossed 4,000 followers, which was really weird. So
congratulations, man. Congratulations. Well done, man. Well done.
I don't know what I'm doing on Twitter.
Boy, you're putting in the work, man. You're putting in the work. When you put in the work, you get the milestones, man.
Yeah, but now it's so lopsided because now I'm on Insta and I barely got no followers on that. So people help me on Insta. Insta's where it's at anyway. Help me on Insta and help me get some followers. You can follow me on Insta at Guna _Eagle_I. Follow me on there. Just let me know you follow me from the show. That's pretty much that. I think I've covered all the bases, right? So, I'll be back tomorrow as well after tonight with the watch along with Lee. Then I'll do my review and then I'll do my player ratings with Lee. So I'm having an active weekend, guys. I gave you guys 2 days break away from my face. So now I've got a blank back again. All right.
and don't forget, if you're into MMA, catch us at the end of the show. We're gonna do a review on the UFC show as well.
I'll be back again. I was active tomorrow. I am active. I am out tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow that means I'm probably going to be doing
big sporting day
tomorrow. Shows either on this channel or on Lee's channel. So I'm going to be active tomorrow. So yes, do check me out and make sure you hit that like wherever I'm at. All right, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm gone. I'll see you soon. Go and see Lee. And Ola, take us out.
Salute.
There you go. Peace. And we are...